Hi, I'm going to talk you through the evolutionary relationships learning cycle. So in the evolutionary relationships learning cycle landing page, you'll see that there are three I can statements, as well as the chart, the overview chart that shows you the activities and important notes and estimated time. This is a rather long learning cycle. If you take a look at the subpages, you'll see there are one, two, three different cycles within in this learning cycle. You'll also notice that there are separate assessment pages. So you go through the first cycle to get to Evo R1, second cycle to get to Evo R2, third cycle to get to Evo R3. So in the first cycle in evolutionary relationships, you are going to conduct a lab, a DNA barcoding lab. And the beginning is an engage where you're going to learn about the process. So there's an article for you to read. You're going to look at some previous student projects, and then you're going to add some thoughts to a discussion. Then when you go into explore, you are going to do the pre-lab for this lab. It entails looking through the instruction sheet and then answering the pre-lab questions in the workbook. So you'll use the instruction sheet. You'll also use this video to help you answer the questions. Once you do the pre-lab, then you're going to move on to the DNA barcoding experiment. That will take several days, and it will take the usage of equipment that you'll learn about in this process. So just giving you a heads up that that lab will take several days, and then there are some questions you have to answer. Then, of course, after Explorer, there's a lesson. Again, either iBook reading or video. Then you move on to apply. There's a problem set, and after the problem set, there is a case study. And then you will sit for the first assessment for Evo R1. So you'll have a hot seat to complete, and then take a quiz. Then you'll move on to the Evo R2 cycle. There's an exploration video and notes, as well as a problem set, and apply. Then I want to point out to you there's an online lab. You will need to have access to your Google account, and you will log in using your Google account or create an account using your Google account. Make sure you pay attention to these directions. You're going to show me evidence of having completed the lab by taking a screenshot. Make sure that your name is visible and shows which lessons you've completed. Then you can sit for the hot seat and quiz for Evo R2 on the assessment page. Then for Evo R3, the final cycle in evolutionary relationships, start with an explore. You will need some images from the classroom in order to answer the questions. Now, you're going to do lesson. It's a bit different. You're going to start with a POGL. There's a chart that I would like you to commit to memory that was in the POGL. And then instead of watching a video or reading from an iBook, you're going to do some research. These are the research questions. I give you some assistance here by telling you, at least in questions 1 and 2, the traits that I'm looking for you to find out more information about. There's a link to a graphic organizer where you can keep your research. In the final apply of the cycle, there's another online activity I'd like you to complete. And then there is a pretty involved lab. You're going to submit part 4 of this lab. So you'll show me parts 1, 2, and 3. And then part 4 will be submitted for a grade. Then you will sit for your hot seat and quiz for the final Evo R3 I can statement.